What's up, everybody? This is Trends with Benefits. My name is Matt. This is Patrick, and we are looking at one of my favorite coins today. So wait a minute. What do we do here at Trends with Benefits? We look at different coins from different categories to break them down, give you the pros and cons, what they do, and if you should buy, sell, and hodl them. Obviously, this is not financial advice, so you shouldn't do anything that we do. But we're two guys with, what do we have, around 20 years of experience in this space? More or less.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years of experience in the space, seen coins and companies go up and down and disappear and rug and so on and so forth. So we just want to basically give you our insights on some of these tokens. So today we are looking at my favorite of the week. This is my favorite of the week, and it is Fetch. And this is it's Fetch AI, and this is great. And I'm going to tell you why it is in a minute. First of all, Fetch AI is down 40% in the month. That's not good. But again, we're recording this on Saturday, June 22nd. The whole market's down. The whole market is going sideways. Things like that are in the top 20, like Polygon, is down 50% from a month ago. So this is not unnormal. But I think when we start talking about what is going on with this ecosystem, you might have more red flags. And so you'll see why this is my favorite. So anyway, circulating supply of Fetch AI is around 800 million. Total supply is around 2.6 million. And max supply is just, blocked out there. So what is the max supply? We don't know. But there's a reason for that too. The all-time high of this token was back in March. Again, everything is down in the market. Bitcoin's all-time high was back in March too. And, well, we're at 63, 64, 65 today, down from 70. But its all-time low was 4 years ago, and it's up big since then. So if you were hodling since, March of 2020, you're up to 18,000%, and you're probably listening to this in your Lambo, and you're about to call me a POS, which is not proof of stake. That would be a piece of shit. By what I'm about to say about this token. So what does this do? Well, Fetch AI is going to actually merge with SingularityNet and Ocean Protocol, and they have collaborated to establish the Super Intelligence Alliance. These are AI tokens, and they'll be considered the universal AI token, and it's going to be under the ticker ASI. Will be. That is important that I say will be. So when they're going to combine all of these tokens together into their Super Intelligence Alliance, Fetch AI is going to provide the underlying infrastructure and blockchain technology. Ocean Protocol is going to enable the data. And SingularityNet is going to offer a decentralized marketplace for AI services. And so there's going to be a token merger coming up. That means all these tokens are going to be merged into one token. There's a caveat here. This should have all happened before. People have been waiting for this for a long time. And they gave a date. It didn't come to fruition, and then they delayed, and then they said July 15th, which is coming up in a couple weeks, and then they finally had this. So there's been a lot of confusion, and the confusion was honestly pretty prolific, because I got emails from listeners of Daily Crypto News asking me to cover this, and I was covering this merger this week on the show, saying, like, because of the delay, because of the lack of communication of the company, we're going to get into this a little bit, that a lot of scams started to pop up. So if a company really doesn't give you the way of going forward, you'll see that scams pop up to fill that gap of knowledge. And it's a very common practice, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So they finally announced their merger, and they put this on the blog just yesterday on the 21st. Today's the 22nd. And their phase one is going to be that their name and logos are going to be updated to artificial intelligence on CoinMarketCap. Again, something some people were waiting for. That the two other tokens, we're talking about Singularity and Ocean, is going to merge into FET token, and FET's going to remain under the FET ticker. So all these other companies are going to merge and basically get FET tokens and become this super company and trade under FET for the time being, which again is why you don't have a max supply, because how it's kind of hard to do all this while you're just merging all these companies together. And so by July 1st, supposedly, it's going to be the project name and logos are going to be updated to Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Deposit and withdrawals for AGIX and Ocean begins to close across exchanges. Deposit and withdrawals and trading will continue as usual for FET because everything will be FET. And you're going to have spot and perpetual tradings uninterrupted under the FET ticker. So again, if you're going to be Singularity or Ocean, you're now going to have FET. There, under this blog, by the way, if you go to FET.ai's website, you'll see the ratio of what you'll get. So say if you have one Singularity, how much FET you'll get. If you have an Ocean, how much FET you'll get. And so they have that all work up, the tokenomics. And so their phase 2 is going to be that ASI tokens are going to be deployed across the chains. And basically, you're going to be able to have migration of the contracts. ASI will be open, and you'll be able to do that on centralized exchanges. So the exchanges are going to work to convert all the FET into your ASI token. And that's right there. So they're going to mitigate your spot markets from FET to ASI. And so here's the thing. They said they were going to do this a long time ago, and they didn't do it. And so there's been, when you have a gap in communication from a company about something that's especially financial, but something that they're supposed to do, a lot of customers, a lot of people, a lot of hodlers, a lot of investors are sitting there waiting, when is this going to take place and how do I get this done? And if they do not communicate, or if they don't have a clear plan of moving this forward, then it's very easy for some scammer to come up and say, hey, this is how you do it. Send your tokens here. And this is what we saw. We saw wallets open where people, and they were saying, send your FET to this wallet and we'll convert it to ASI and send you back ASI. And people were doing it because what else were you supposed to do? Binance, they released a statement and said, hey, we're going to be able to merge your FET or use this FET token or these other artificial intelligence tokens into ASI, and we'll do it on our back end, because usually centralized exchanges do that. If you're going to do a merger or a swap, you could have your tokens in your wallet on your centralized exchange. They'll close trading, they'll close withdrawals and deposits. They'll swap those tokens, what you have in there for the predetermined amount, and then unlock it so you can continue your spot trading. Binance said they were going to do it. Coinbase didn't make a statement. Other exchanges didn't make a statement. Nobody knew. So, right for scammers. The lack of communication was, in my opinion, the way, and not knowing that this is an issue is a way to shows that, one, they're not organized. Two, they don't know how to communicate. And three, they don't really take responsibility for what they're planning, right? So this, again, opportunity for scammers, confusion, and again, you're trying to put money into this idea, this company, and they can't communicate properly. And we see this a lot with tech. So it's like a lot of times when you say that this is going to happen, you don't give exact dates. I mean, look at what Apple does all the time. They'll have dub, and they'll say, this is our new iOS, this is our new Vision OS, this is whatever, coming in fall, coming soon, coming at the end of the quarter, coming on, it gives them time to get their ducks in order. You see that, maybe they announce features that are going to happen within, say, your iOS or on your device, or even, whatever service that you're using. They will say that, hey, coming soon but they don't give you an exact date for the most part. Why? Because they know sometimes things happen. The fact that they didn't know that just shows their, lack of experience with this. Anyway, so if I was a short term, I would say, let's see here. If you're migrating everything over to FET, my opinion is that there's a lot of ecosystems, a lot of support, a lot of people. This is the degen in me. See what happens. maybe this is a buy in the short term to see how this migration goes forward. If it was me, I wouldn't buy it but I'm definitely paying attention to seeing like, hey, does this FET actually go up because we're getting all this ecosystem, all these communities into one, and does that just create this super beast of a token community that just pushes number completely up? But again, with the poor communication and a lot of wishy-washy dates and a lot of like just bad planning, do you trust it? So the degen in me says buy it short term, but I think ultimately it's sell, look somewhere else, and don't even deal with this. Patrick, what are you thinking?
Okay, well, this one hits a little close to home for me. Okay, so I actually have some Ocean from a while ago, and there are two reasons I got it. One was I was messing around with the Oasis. We talked about this a week or two ago with Rose. I was messing around with the Oasis Sapphire chain, which is their EVM compatible, privacy oriented chain. And so in that chain, they had their first DEX, which is called a Luminex swap. And so, I was, you want to get a stake in the system, see how the chain works. One of the biggest tokens on in that ecosystem already was Ocean. So I got some Ocean. I locked it up in some LP. It's been sitting in a farm for a while on a Luminex. And then they also announced that they were going to merge to form this super intelligence group. And I was like, well, that's good because I wanted to hold Ocean because if I looked at the relative market caps and the prices of the token, and if you looked at the ratios for the conversion rate to what was supposed to be ASI, then Ocean had the best, like I had the most bang for buck. So I was sitting pretty on Ocean with the merger and all this. And now they've changed all this and said, oh, no, it's all going to go in Fetch. And I'm like, okay, so how am I going to get my Ocean on this Oasis parachain on this tiny little chain? How am I supposed to convert that to Fetch? Is the that DApp they're using, is that the platform, is that going to support the one I'm holding now? So for me right now, it's like an instant. Okay, wait and see. If I see Ocean go up in price before the end of the month, I'm probably not going to leave the Rose ecosystem. I'm probably just going to exchange it for another token there. So I'm probably just gonna see what happens. And if we get a little price bump, if we get in the black, then I'm probably just gonna tip my cap to the guys and walk out. I might be thinking differently if I held it on Ethereum or another bigger blockchain where the transition was easier. But it's just the cost and the hassle of trading the token isn't worth it for me. So I'm a sell.
Oh, so you're just pissed off. You're one of the guys that really got screwed by this whole
Yeah.
miscommunication and all of that. And
Yeah,
it's
and that's what happens when you're venturing in the little corners of blockchain. Is sometimes you get stranded on these liquidity peninsulas and stuff that become islands, and you go, my token's no good anymore. So it's all part of the game, right?
but that just so. Are you selling because you're not going to get the ROI that you were you're pissed off about it, or are you just saying like they're completely irresponsible and I just don't want to deal with them? Like which one is it? Is it
Oh, I
just
think I think I don't know if the tokens on the chain I'm holding on will actually have value after the merger. Like I don't know if there's a clear pathway, and then the way to bridge it. So then I'm bridging back to EVM, but I bought it because I wanted a piece of the Oasis ecosystem. So I'll just find another way to invest in that ecosystem.
so? Do
Yeah,
you think
we're
that
talking tens of dollars here.
Yeah, right. But do you think that the FET ecosystem moving like do you agree with me that once this merge happens, yeah, you might be screwed now, but do you think that it's going to create a super community and it has a potential to do so, and then therefore a number go up, or do you think that it's just going to be like uh, continue a big clusterfuck for the whole the duration?
I think regardless, there's either way. Like AI is such a huge narrative and such a huge driving narrative, and with every time Nvidia earnings come out now, it's almost like a Musk tweet. So I really think AI in general is just a huge opportunity. So even if it is kind of a cluster, numbers still might go up.
Love it, love it. All right, well, that is the token. That is Fetch AI. That is ASI. That is Ocean. That is Singularity. That's all of them for the most part. You take this and you put it to all those other tokens, you're probably going to be in the same boat. So therefore, we just hit a threefer. Yeah? So it was a
That's
threefer.
right. Yeah, three thumbs up, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you.